It's a shutout for the Black Shirts at the half. Nebraska 28, Colorado nothing. And welcome back to the Noddle Company's broadcast booth at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. I'm Matt Coatney, and I am so happy to welcome you back to the University of Nebraska President's Halftime Show with President Jeff Gold. We'll be catching up each and every week on what's happening across the university and what's on the president's mind. President Gold, it's good seeing you again. Let's start by talking about last week's game against UTEP. What were some of your favorite moments?
It was just incredible. Of course, it was a big win. But, I talked to the coach almost immediately after the game, and he told me his favorite part of it was that all the players got to be on the field. And that made him feel great. And, of course, it made me feel great as well. But the energy of the fans, and, of course, the energy of the fans here tonight is just over the top. It's great to have a shutout at this point, of course, and we look forward to the second half. But, I got to shoot some hot dogs. Of course, I got the game ball last week. Wow, was that cool?
Yeah.
Actually got my name printed on it with the date. So it was very memorable for me. And, of course, this is my first night game as the president. I've been to a lot of night games before. But, again, it feels very special.
And you've had just a special week, and you had a very special event earlier this week. And congratulations on your investiture. Can you talk about that and what it signifies?
Sure. Well, the investiture is the formal bestowing of the medallion of the presidency of the university. Although I actually took the job on July 1st. I've been working pretty hard all this time. But this is when in front of over 450 people in the rotunda of the Capitol. And by the way, this is the first time I believe any university event of this nature was hosted in the House of the People, but with thousands of people online. Could get to see 12 or 14 people make some remarks, listen to our musical performance, our choir, and again, just recognize, not me, but about the great role that the University of Nebraska plays in the state.
Well, school has been back in session for 2 weeks. Football season obviously is in full swing here. What are your thoughts so far as we look ahead?
Huge energy, no doubt about it, on all of our campuses. And give you a little bit of an update. Next Tuesday, we're going to issue a press release that's going to say that enrollment is up across the entire system, approximately 1%, a little bit less than 1%. But, that's the first time since about 2017 that we've really seen a reversal in the trend. And I think that is, one point does not a trend make, but definitely rather than having been down year over year over year. And if you look at some of the subsets, we're up predominantly with Nebraska kids. We're up both undergraduate and graduate programs. We're certainly up over 3% at the Med Center again. That's 24 consecutive years of being up. So there's a lot to celebrate there as well.
And let's talk a little bit more about affordability and access in those areas. What is the University of Nebraska doing to support students in those particular areas?
Well, we continue to offer the important historic programs such as the Regent Scholarship, but we've also put this Nebraska Promise program in place where any student below $65,000 family income can go with no tuition to the University of Nebraska, and that's roughly the median income in the state. And that's really meant to make the point that we want to throw our arms out and welcome every student in the state and make sure affordability is never the issue. The recently created presidential scholars, that's for our high-performing perfect ACT students. And again, we were able to almost double the number this year that we've historically been able to bring on board, and that's with full cost of tuition and a $5,000 a year stipend. We hope to double that next year. At least we're going to work really hard to see if we can double the number of students in that category.
Well, President Gold, you mentioned first-generation students. Can you share with our listeners what that means?
Well, first-generation students, to our definition in mind, are students that did not have a parent or immediate family member ever that went to college, and that was certainly me. As you may know, I grew up in the inner city of New York. One of my parents graduated from high school, the other didn't. They were children of the Great Depression. Both had to work really hard. Tragically, my mom died when I was in my early 20s, and And were it not for scholarships, work study, student loans, I never would have gone to college. I'm a product of the public high school system of New York, whereas we used to say more of our graduates went to jail than went to college.
Oh, my goodness. Before I let you go, I know last night there was a great reception for the 1994 national championship team. I know you were there. What were your thoughts about that?
Again, another incredibly high energy event. I was sitting with Coach Osborne for the event, and I asked him what was so special about the team. And he said that there have been a lot of teams that he's coached that are really very talented, but it was the resolution of this group that created the championship.
Oh, great stuff. President Jeff Gold, again, thank you. I've been enjoying doing this. Let's do this all season, and let's hope the Huskers can keep this going here in the second half.
Let's just keep it going.
All right, President Jeff Gold. I'm Matt Coatney in the Noddle Company's broadcast booth. 28-0 Nebraska leads Colorado at the half. We'll take a look at scores around the country when we return in a few moments.